So they haven't had any wins yet at all, except for the synthetic, but uh, don't count your money at the table, right? Hello, YouTube. How are you? My name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today on the end of the week edition of How is PLTY Doing? We got to come up with a better title than that, but I'm committed to creating this content for you on Mondays and Fridays, and to see, what are the options that they've created, how did they do with those options, and how does that look for your PLTY ETF. Now, please know I'm not invested in PLTY or Palantir, but I thought this would be a good educational video for you. Also, if in the next month here I don't get views over a certain number, I'm probably going to stop doing it. If you are interested in the PLTY videos, make sure you hit the like button so more people like you get to see this. And then I can keep doing it in the future. But I'm not going to make a video if nobody wants to watch it, right? So uh, we'll go ahead and start this process here. So PLTY is a brand spanking new fund. It's about 3 weeks old, coming out from YieldMax here. It is one of their new strategies where they came out with an elevated share price of starting at $50. And it is there to create monthly distributions for you, and they do all of the work. So what they do is synthetic options, calls, and puts on the underlying company, which is Palantir. So both stock symbols are PLTY. That's going to be the YieldMax one, and then PLTR, which is Palantir. So if you want to take a look at both of those, definitely do it. See what their share prices are. I'm also utilizing YieldMax's website here to see what the options are. They did close today, and I'm gathering that they closed at some point today. We'll see if it was a win or a loss, and we'll see how they did. All right. Also, stay tuned at the end. I have some other YieldMax news that, an underlying stock that could affect a YieldMax heavyweight. So we'll talk about that at the very end there, okay? So first things first, let's go to YieldMax's website. I'll link that in the description below. I clicked on our ETFs, and then I went over to PLTY, which is at the very bottom of the first list there. And here are the options that were created for this week. So a lot of United States Treasury talk here. And then there's a synthetic option, $39 for December the 20th. 890 positions. So we know this is the synthetic option because it'll have a plus and a minus for the same amount here. So 39, then down, usually down near the very bottom. There's another one, 39, for the same amount of positions. There's the minus. That's the put. And then up top here, that's the call with the no minus sign next to it. So why do we care about that? Well, we hope that Palantir by December the 20th, that the Palantir share price is above $39 for you to make money on this synthetic option. By them creating the synthetic option, that they also generate income so that they can write calls on this underlying stock, right? So they've gone ahead and done that. They had just one call that made it easy, right? Now, this fund is not massive. We'll take a look to see what its value is as a fund here. But like I said, it's 3 weeks old. But they only did one call, which is it makes it easy on us here to look at. They did a call for $43 ending today. So the market closed 15 minutes ago. They probably closed out of this option somewhere earlier today. But I'm not sure if they maybe should have closed out of it maybe a day earlier. So this option here was, I think, a week and a half old. $43, and they also had a credit call spread of $45. Now that is pretty good. It's only a $2 difference. So what they're doing is they're hedging. They're trying to allow us to get some upside here. So if Palantir went above 45, we would have made some good coin. But let's take a look to see what Palantir did. So here's Palantir. 44.98. So it didn't quite get to that 45. but it definitely went above the $43. And I'm just looking at the 1-day chart here. This morning it was at 43.85. It did get down to 43.81, but then it kind of shot up here 2.96%. And I mean, if you look at the last 5 days here, only at one point was it under that $43 range. It was $42 on Wednesday. So all week we were getting beat by this. So what will have to happen here is the fund managers would have had to close this call right here. And to do that, because the share price of Palantir was above $43, they would have had to pay money. So yeah, they made money at the start by opening the option. But because I mean, they could have done two things really, right? But because the share price of Palantir is above 43, if they closed it, they're going to have to pay more money to close that. Now, if it was me and this was my covered call, I would probably roll that call into next week or the week after, and I would roll it up, right? I would roll it up to 44 or even $45 so that I didn't have to pay money to close this option. That's probably what I would do personally if it was my own options, but I highly doubt that that's what happened here. So they'll take the loss on that one, and then they'll also potentially take a loss on this credit call spread up here because it didn't quite reach the $45 mark. So it's a double loss week right here. Not starting off too good, and I know last week they had a loss as well. So they haven't had any wins yet at all, except for the synthetic, but don't count your money at the table, right? So we're still at the table with this one until December the 20th. And currently we're $5 up on that one. So, I mean, it's looking good, but, we have 2 months to go, just under 2 months to go for that synthetic option. So again, don't count your money at the table. There's a long road ahead of us with so much that can change, including Palantir earnings coming up here. So yeah, Palantir stock itself, 44.86 today, looking pretty darn good. If you take a look at the last month here, it's up 20%. It's a hot ticket for sure. In the last 6 months here, up 106%. And then if you look at the last year, up 187%. Now, I've had my eye on Palantir since it was around that $26 region, $23 region. I never pulled that trigger though. No excuses. I don't know why. I have always thought Palantir was going to be a good company, and it's just starting, right? So who knows what the future of it, but I know if you travel the internet, you will find so many Palantir bulls that it's you got to sift through the bull a little bit to find the facts. Now, I went searching today. One last thing. PLTY, before we move on from the options, PLTY itself, the share price is up. I mean, that's pretty good. If you take a look, it came out at 51.43, so it's up $1.25 right now from when it came out. Just so you know, I didn't even see the $1.25 sitting up there. I just did that with my own human brain. I'm super proud of myself after a long work day. We made it happen. $1.25, that's pretty good, right? Up $1.25 in share price. And then let's take a look at the value of this ETF. Oh, that's come down 3.91 million in net assets. So that's come down since its inception. I think it started at 5 million. And that's going to be one of the lowest funds so far. But again, it is 3 weeks old, right? I want to take a look at the Palantir news here. I was scrolling through Google, and I saw Palantir's CEO on CNBC earlier this morning. I woke up, went to the gym, came back, threw on CNBC, and there he was. But they've partnered with L3 Harris. And so I want to go down a little bit further here and explain that just briefly, okay? Okay, here it is. L3 Harris and Palantir announced strategic partnership. And why did they do that? It says down here something about L3 Harris being better at something. Let's go click on it here. I'll just click on the first one I see. Boom. Ah, yes, there it is. They are better networked and good at understanding DC environments. Calls for more lethal tech to scare China and Russia. Wow. All right then. So if you're investing in Palantir, a very very lowered commentary on it, something that's not super educated, but they're involved in AI technology. Specifically, they have a lot of AI technology in the drones over in the Ukraine, and that's kind of their game, right? That technology. And again, they do a lot more than that. I'm just saying that's a lowered um, just synopsis of what they do. So Palantir looking good. Would I recommend buying PLTY? No. I mean, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? I'm just a guy on YouTube, but personally, I wouldn't buy PLTY. They haven't had a distribution yet. That'll be out in Group B. So what's that? Like 2 weeks from now, will be their first distribution. So far, not looking great with their weekly options, and I'm a wait and see kind of guy here. And I would probably just invest in Palantir myself personally, but I just want to make sure that I throw this out there. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just some guy on YouTube, so I wouldn't take my advice. You do you. You do what you got to do with your money. I did take a couple screenshots though of the active options over at Palantir, just to kind of show that to you. Let's take a look here. So first one I did was just for next week, so a week from today, and I took this like 10 minutes ago. Right now, Palantir stock trade. Well, at that time, Palantir stock trading at $44.93. So you would need to have $4,493 to buy 100 shares to be able to do a covered call. So I'm just going to stick with a covered call. There's many other options you can do out there, pun intended. But I'm going to stick with a covered call. Okay. So if we stuck to next week, which is Friday, is going to be November 1st, and you had bought it at $44.93 times 100, so $4,493. You could sell a call, real close to the money here at $45. You would make $108 if you were to send that option out there, right? So, I mean, that's not bad, but you're not giving yourself any upside there. You could always go all the way up to $46 and you'd be making yourself $67. And this is just what you can do with covered calls. So there's so many risks with covered calls. So before you dive into that, make sure you uncover what those risks are. You understand how to close options. These are very, very important. But if it was me and I had 44.93 sticking around, I would probably go ahead and put it at 45.50, and that would make me about $60 in upside, plus it would make me $86 in premium. Now on the covered call, you get that $86 no matter what. And if Palantir got to 45.50 and above, then I would automatically sell those. They would be gone. The call would be called. But I mean, I said it earlier, if I didn't want it to be, I could roll that option for the next week after, set it at the same price, and then rinse and repeat, right? That is something that you can do as well, as long as they don't get auto assigned on you. I also took a screenshot here of a month from now, and well, close to a month from now. So November 22nd, same kind of thing here. Same price, you can see $44.93. And if we had to set the strike price in a month from now to $46, well, you got $2.07 in upside times 100. Okay, so $207 in upside. But then you would also make $320 here on that premium, right? So what's the math on that? About 8% on just the premium right there. Then you add in the $2, you're at what, around 11%, something like that. But yeah, if you do monthly calls on Palantir, it's looking pretty lucrative. Now, I think the reason it's so lucrative is because you would be trading into earnings season with Palantir, and everybody's favorite analyst out there, Jim Cramer, says to sit on Palantir and see what it does. Jim Cramer thinks that the price of Palantir might be high right now, and that you should sit on it because who knows what it can do. So Generally, if Jim Cramer says it's a great stock, you should run. I'm kind of joking, but that's like the internet meme, right? Jim Cramer says Netflix is terribly priced. It goes up 700%. Jim Cramer says Nvidia, oh no way, it goes up 100%. So Jim Cramer says Palantir is looking good. You should sit on your shares and see what it does. Is the price baked in here? Are we expecting one of those earnings seasons where you sell the news? Is that what's going to happen with Palantir? I'm not too sure. That's for sure. So that's my talk on PLTY and Palantir. Let me know if you're an investor in PLTY. You probably actually are the only one because the fund has 3.91 million net assets, and I say that jokingly because it's Friday. But yeah, I mean, who knows, right? It's a $52 ETF. We'll find out what the dividend comes up here in Group B. But I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. YieldMax has another fund that is one of those $50 funds, and it's TSMY down here. And it just had a $5 distribution. It's it's not TSMY. What is it? Sorry about that. Let me zoom out. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, SMCY. That's the one. Super micro computers, right? So it just had a massive distribution. I think it was $5. I'm pretty sure it was this one. I could be wrong. You know what? I'm going to correct myself up on the top here. And if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'll put a graphic up there once I go edit this. I saw one more thing that is really, really impressive, and it has to do with Nvidia and its underlying stock, which is Nvidia. So today, some massive news happened. Breaking news. Nvidia dethrones Apple for the first time in history to become the most valuable company in the world, with market value of USD $3.53 trillion, suppressing Apple's USD of $3.52 trillion. So today was a historic day for Nvidia. If you're invested in Nvidia, I am. That's my biggest holding right now. If you were invested in Nvidia, a year ago, you're probably one of the happiest people on the earth, and congratulations to you. That is pretty incredible. We'll see how long they stay on top of that throne, but Apple is an absolute beast, and it probably won't take that lightly and come out with maybe a phone that can text people now. I'm an Android user right here, right? So you got to make fun of the Apple people. I know you're an Apple person watching this because, Apple's a beast, right? But there we go. Congratulations, Nvidia. Nvidia did well over the last week, that's for sure. I'm very happy with Nvidia's performance. I hope that it translates to an incredible distribution in a couple of weeks coming up here. Fingers crossed, because Mikey wants to buy more Misty with it. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to come on tonight, go over the weekly options here. Again, if you enjoyed this content, hit the subscribe, like. I'm trying to get to, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before December 25th. And I am getting closer every single day. I'm just over 1,500 subscribers. So thank you very much for your continued support. And if I don't see you before the end of the weekend, I hope you have an awesome weekend. I appreciate every single one of you. My name is Mike. This is Health and Wealth. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, friends.